This is a level 2 functional skills maths paper from Highfield. It's split into two parts. In the first part you can't use a calculator, but you can in the second part. This is the first part. Calculate 16 plus 6 squared times 4. Write the answer in the box below. So we've got to follow the BIDMAS rules. Do we have brackets? No, we don't. Do we have indices, which is powers? Yes, we do. So we're going to do that first. So 16 plus 6 squared, that is 6 times 6, which is 36, and then times 4. So we've done the powers. Then, do we have any division in here? We don't. Do we have multiplication? Yes, we do. So we're going to do multiplication before we do addition. So 16 plus 36 times 4. What is that? So 36 times 4. 4 times 6 is 24. So 4 down and 2 carried over. 4 times 3 is 12. And the 2 is 14. So 144. Now we've got 16 add 144. So 144 add the 16, because order doesn't matter. 6 and 4 is 10, so 0 down, 1 is carried over. 4 and 1 is 5, and the 1 is 6. 1, add nothing to that, gives us 1. So the answer is 160. Calculate 15% of 390. So if I quickly represent 390 here, and I'm going to split this into 10 equal parts. So just one of them will be 10%. So in total, this is 100%. So that's 390 in total. The reason why I'm breaking down into 10% because it's easier to calculate. So to work out 10% of 390, it's like splitting or sharing or dividing 390 by 10. So 390 divided by 10, that is 39. So it's like knocking off a 0 at the end when you divide by 10. Then 5%, because we need 15% in total, don't we? So 5% of 390, that is half of the 10%. Something like that. So we're going to look for half of 39. How many 2's would fit into 3? That's just 1. And then we have 1 remaining. How many 2's into 19? That will be 9, because 2 lots of 9 is 18. So we have 1 remaining. Now we're finished with the digits, so we need to put a decimal point in both of the numbers. So now we can add zeros. So how many 2's into 10? That is 5. So 19.5, that is 5% of 390. So both together now, 19.5 and the 39. We can add a decimal point with a 0 if we want. Doesn't make any difference here. 5 and 0, that is 5. 99 is 18. So 8 down, 1 carried over. 3 and 1 is 4, and the 1 is 5. So 58.5. Calculate the median and the mode of this set of data. Write the answer in the box below. So, median is about putting the numbers in order and finding the middle one. So let's just do that together. Looking at these, let's start from smallest to the largest. The smallest of them all, that is 4. So I'm going to write it here. Then after that, we have 5. Then we have 9. Then we have 15. Another 15. We have 23. Then 24. 32. And 40. Crossing them out both sides so we can find the middle one or middle ones, because it could be 2 as well. It's just 1. So median is 15. Mode. Mode is the most common number, the number that occurs mostly. So do we have any of these numbers that repeat themselves? We did, and that was 15. So 15 was the only number that appeared twice. The rest of them only appeared once. So the mode is also 15. Scenario A, media. You work for Highfield Advertising and Promotions. You're sending out new promotional material to customers. 1/3 are leaflets. 2/5 are brochures. The remainder are catalogues. What fraction of the promotional materials are catalogues? Show you're working out and write your answer in the box below. So we've got to add 1/3 and 2/5 together to work out the total for leaflets and brochures, and then work out what is the remainder. So 1/3 add 2/5 first. They have 2 different denominators, so we need to find a common denominator. A common denominator for both, that can be 15, because 3 goes into 15 without a remainder, and 5 goes into 15 as well. So to get from 3 to 15, what have we done? We've multiplied by 5. So we need to do the same to the top number, times 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. To get from 5 to 15, we've multiplied by 3. So we need to do the same to the top number, times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So adding these two together, 11/15. So the whole thing, including leaflets, brochures and catalogues, that will be 15/15, which is equal to 1, a whole thing. So if I take away 11/15 from that, what I'm left with is 4/15. So 15 take away 11 gives me 4, so 4/15. You are looking to buy shares in Highfield Advertising and Promotions. Your manager tells you that you will receive 3% interest on the money you invest. The interest will be applied annually. The minimum investment time is 3 years. You decide to invest £950 for 3 years. Calculate the compound interest you'll earn after 3 years. Show you're working out and write the answer in the box below. As we can't use a calculator, we'll break it down and work out interest after each year. So in the first year, the amount invested is £950, and the interest rate is 3%. So we're going to need to work out 3% of 950. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out 1% first. And that's like dividing 950 by 100. Because 1% is 1 out of 100. So when you divide a whole number by 100, you've got to imagine where the decimal point is. So in this case it's a whole number, so it's going to be at the end. And we move the decimal point 2 places, in this case to the left, because we're dividing. So this will be 9.5 because we go 1, 2 places. Okay, so 1% is 9.5. So 2% will be double that. 3% will be 3 times that. So if I multiply 9.5 by 3, it should give me what 3% is worth. So 3 times 5 is 15. So 5 down and 1 is carried over. 3 times 9 is 27 and the 1 is 28. So looking at the two numbers we multiplied, 9.5 and the 3, 9.5 has 1 decimal place. The 3 is a whole number, so it doesn't have a decimal place. So in total there is 1 decimal place. So we're going to give the answer only 1 decimal place. So the answer will be 28.5 for the 3%. So 3% of 950, that is 28.5, or £28.50, since we're talking about money. So now, as this is compound interest, we're going to add 28.5 to the 950 before we work out the 3% for the second year. So 950, add 28.5, 5 there, 8, 7, 9. So £978.50. So we're going to work out 3% of this amount now. What is 1% of 978.5? Again, 978.5 divided by 100, moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. So 1, 2 places. So that will be 9.785. Again, this is just the 1%. To get 3%, we're going to multiply it by 3. So 3 times 5, that is 15. So we put 5 down and 1 is carried over. 3 times 8, that is 24, and the one we had carried over, that is 25. So 5 down and 2 carried over. 3 times 7, that is 21, and the 2, that is 23. So 3 down and 2 carried over. 3 times 9, that is 27, and the 2, that is 29. I'll remove the dots that I added to refer to numbers as I was explaining the calculation. So now, how many decimal places do we have on the first number, which was 9.785? That is 3 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3. 3 underneath, that is a whole number, so it doesn't have any decimal places. So in total, the answer will have 3 decimal places. So going backwards, 1, 2, 3. So 29.355. So 3% of £978.50 is equal to 29 point. Now 355, as this is money, we're gonna round it to give it 2 decimal places, so we make it 36, so £29.36. So this is interest earned at the end of the second year. We have one more year to go. So before we work out 3%, we need to add £29.36 to the £978.50. So £978.50, add £29.36. 0 and 6 is 6, 5 and 3 is 8, 8 and 9 is 17, so 7 down and 1 carried over, 7 and 2 is 9 and the 1 is 10, so 0 down, 1 is carried over, 1 and 9 is 10, so 1007.86. So now we need to work out 3% of 1007.86, but first, as we said, 1%. So 1% of 1007.86, 1007.86 divided by 100, again moving the decimal point 2 places to the left, means that we're going to get 10.0786. Multiplying this by 3 will give us 3%, so times 3. 3 times 6 is 18, so 8 down and 1 is carried over. 3 times 8 is 24 and the 1 is 25, so 5 down and 2 carried over. 3 times 7, 21 and the 2, 23, so 3 down, 2 carried over. 3 times 0 is 0 and the 2 gives us 2. 3 times 0 again is 0. 3 times 1 is 3. Looking at the two numbers, the first one has 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places, whereas number 3 itself doesn't have any because it's a whole number. So we're going to give the answer 4 decimal places. So going backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 30.2358. So 3% of 1007.86 is £30, and let's just round this now. So looking at the 5, that means we're going to round this to £30.24 because of the 5 next to it. So we've got now the interest for the third year as well. The question was to work out how much interest will be earned after 3 years, so only interest. So let's just collect all the interest amounts for the 3 years. So the first one for the first year, that was 28.5 or £28.50. Then for the second year, we've got 3% of this, so that was £29.36. And finally, we've got £30.24. So let's add all of these together. 6 and 4, that is 10, so 0 down, 1 is carried over. 5 and 3 is 8, and the 2 is 10, and the 1 we have carried over, that is 11, so 1 down, 1 carried over. Now 9 and 1, that is 10, and the 8 is 18, so 8 down, 1 carried over. 1 and 2 is 3, and the 2 is 5, and the 3 is 8. So £88 and 10 pence is the final answer. Scenario B, kennels. You have recently rescued 2 dogs. The dogs need an outside kennel to share. You see a kennel for sale with the following floor space. It is recommended that each dog has a floor area of 15 square meter. Is the kennel big enough for your dogs? So you're working out and write the answer in the box below. So we need to work out the area of this shape. As this is a compound shape, I'm going to split it into simple shapes. So for this big rectangle, 4 times 6 gives us 24. Now I'm going to split this into a rectangle and a triangle as well. So for this one we've got 2 meters by, what's this length equal to? That will be 9 take away 6, because 6 comes up to here. So that will be 3 meters. So 2 times 3, that is 6. Now the triangle, so that will be 3 by, what's this length equal to? Let's see. So from this point to this point, that is equal to 4. So 4 take away the 2 we have here, that leaves us with 2. So this is 2 meters. So 2 times 3, all divided by 2, that gives us 3 meters, square meters. So adding all of these together, so 24 and the 6 and the 3, that gives us 33 square meters. And it's recommended that each dog has a floor area of 15 square meters, and it's actually 2 dogs. So 2 times 15, that is 30 square meters needed. This is 33, so it's even more than is needed. So is the kennel big enough for your dogs? We're going to say yes. Your friend Joanne volunteers at the kennels. There are 12 volunteers in total. Only 8 volunteers are needed per day, and they are chosen at random. The kennels are split into small dogs and large dogs. There are 25 small dogs and 11 large dogs. Volunteers who are working are allocated a dog at random to walk. On any given day, what is the probability of your friend Joanne working and being allocated a large dog? Give your answer as a fraction. Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So we're looking at 2 things: probability of them working in a day, and then probability of them being allocated a large dog. So we'll do them both, and then we just multiply, because that and there means that we've got to multiply the 2 fractions. So probability of your friend Joanne working. It says only 8 volunteers are needed per day, and there are 12 volunteers in total. So probability of working, that is 8 out of 12, so 8 twelfths, multiplied by, what's now the probability of being allocated a large dog? So there are 11 large dogs and 25 small dogs. So large, that's 11, out of, in total, 25 and the 11, that's going to be 36. So since we're multiplying these two, all we do is multiply the two top numbers. So 8 times 11, or 11 times 8, which is 88. You could do it as 11 times 8, like this, if you like. So 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 1 is 8. And that gives us 88. Now 12 times 36. So 2 times 6, that is 12, so 2 down and 1 is carried over. 2 times 3 is 6 and the 1, that is 7. Moving down now, so we put a 0 down first. 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 3 is 3. Adding these, 2 and 0 is 2, 7 and 6 is 13, so 3 down and 1 carried over. 3 and 1 is 4. So 432. Now you could simplify your answer, but the question is not asking for that. So I'm just going to leave it as 88 over 432. And this is the end of the first part.